Welcome to the In Between podcast. We've been quiet for the last 2 weeks, and we are so excited to be back with you. This is episode 16, and we have plenty to catch up on. We're going to talk about living in our own in-between moments of life and where life is headed for us personally. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy today's episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the In Between podcast. I just want to say that we've missed you guys. We took a couple of weeks off because life just got a little bit crazy and we just needed to have a moment to pause and breathe. But we are glad to be back. How are you, Les? Are you doing okay?
I'm good. I'm a little bit allergic to my city. But I'm good. Yeah, we've had a lot of sickness in my house, and I think everyone's on the other side of it. So,
yeah,
we're good. Yeah, it has just kind of been a crazy month, really, of just a lot going on. But it's good. We're good.
Yeah. Good. Well, let's just jump into how we always start by doing our into it and over it. So, what are you into right now?
So right now I am, and I may have said this before, I know I've said succulents before, but I'm like super into plants, live plants in my house. I have never been that person because I would always kill them, but I realized like they died because I didn't take care of them. So, and I'm realizing they're not hard to take care of. It's a simple thing. So anyway, I got like two plants real ones that you have to kind of maintain when we first moved in, and they're still alive and they're beautiful and they make me happy. So I bought myself a couple more. That was my Valentine's Day gift to myself. So even my kids were like, wow, Mom, it's really getting green around here. Like some fake greenery, some real, I'm just mixing it up, but
right.
Yeah. So I'm like super into just the fun. Like, so you've got plants.
I do.
Beautiful sunrooms.
I've become a plant lady, I feel like. Although I was just looking at mine this morning and thinking I need to water them desperately. Like they're struggling. You're right. It's not hard, but you have to just stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what about you? What are you into?
Well, you know what I am really into right now? I have been so blessed in the last 2 weeks. I had a hard week. One of my closest friends passed away. And I have just been absolutely amazed at how different people have reached out and shown me love. And so I'm really into really just simple acts, small things that show people love. And I have been so inspired the way people have done things. I'll just give you some examples. Right before I left, I texted like 5 friends in Lubbock and told them what was going on. And a friend brought me a roll of quarters and just said, I know you're going to be in the hospital the next couple days. You're going to need this for vending machines. And then while I was in Tulsa, someone emailed me an electronic Starbucks gift card, And then I had a couple of people bring me meals when I came home. I had just a super sweet, just handwritten note that came in the mail. Totally different things, like for whatever people's personality is. And I've also realized based on what our relationship is like, it's just kind of fit. And they've all just kind of come at the right time for me.
Yeah. And
so what I've been realizing is so often I will have these little ideas to do for someone. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I feel like probably 75% of the time I don't act on them. Mm-hmm. And I just, in the last 2 weeks, I have just so realized how those little, small, like $5 or free and that's not even counting all the just texts and phone calls. Like, that really does make a difference in people's lives. So I am so into it. I'm super thankful and grateful for it. And I'm just kind of personally like saying, okay, like this is absolutely something that I am moving forward with in my own life as those kind of ideas come to me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like the world's worst. I always have lots of great ideas.
Yeah.
But I always talk myself out of them and say, I don't want to bother that person, or I don't want them to, I don't know. Like, but then I realize I'm somehow making it about me and my security. I'm like, they're not going to think you're weird.
Right.
A friend here, her stepdad just passed away. He's been battling cancer, and I knew that it was really a hard thing. And one day I just felt like, you need to send her a text. And I thought of all the reasons why I shouldn't. I don't know this girl that well. We've hung out a couple times. We're in a small group together, but it was just kind of like, she's busy. I don't want to bother her. I don't know where she's at. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. Like, she doesn't have to read that text that moment, but you never know.
Yeah.
And I saw her last night for the first time since all this happened. And I mean, she just replied with a simple thanks kind of a thing. And she was like, that text just came such at the right time. And she said the same thing. She was like, it's just been amazing. Like little things like that.
Yeah.
All throughout this. And I was like, how insignificant for me to send. I mean, it took me a minute to send her a little text just to let her know that she was being thought of and prayed for. But those little things, I think they do make such a difference. So I do think it's important that we be sensitive when we feel that thing, like, this is something I can do.
Right.
And it does mean a lot. So that's good. I'm glad you have felt.
Oh, I have. It's been amazing. It really has. So, and I'm exactly like you. I usually think I'm going to be a bother, or I'm going to impose, and you're really not. And you're right. It's making it about you when it has nothing to do with you in that moment. So, yeah. So, I am into it, and now looking for ways to just bless people a little ways. So,
awesome.
Now, what about over it? What are you over right now?
So, this is so cheesy. My husband's been out of town, and I don't sleep great when he's out of town, so I stay up and watch too much Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So I got in kind of late last night and thought, oh, I'm tired, I'll go right to bed. And of course I couldn't go to sleep. So I turned on Hulu, and they had like movies on there too. And there was a Nicholas Sparks movie that somehow I had not seen.
Yes.
It's possible. And so anyway, I watched it. It's called The Choice.
Yes. I haven't seen it.
Just don't. It's
okay.
I'm just over it. The Notebook was like a life-changing moment. And then from there, I feel like it's just too much. It's just too cheesy. I'm like, this is not, I don't know if they're not like developing the stories as much, and they're just hoping you get caught up in this, whatever. Ugh. It was, but then I was so invested. I have to finish now. Like, what's going to happen? Anyway. And I think sometimes the character, you just don't connect with the character. Like, but who connects with a character? They're all the same characters. Anyway.
Right.
I just feel the last couple Nicholas Sparks movies, I've kind of been like, it's just not doing it for me.
Right.
One of them made me really mad. I like hated it. The Best of Me or something. I don't know. It was just I'm breaking up with Nicholas Sparks. I'm done.
All right.
And I don't read the books. I just go straight to the movie, but I'm just.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, I don't know why it bothered me so bad. I was like, God, this is just.
So you feel like you waste all this time, like your time is valuable.
1:00 in the morning. What is up? Ugh. Anyway, yes. I
oh my goodness.
Exhausted.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I agree. You know what? I'm just going to go on the same tangent for my over it. I'm kind of over also. Yeah. And I've said it before about not you don't have to finish bad books, but I've realized I also do that with movies or even TV series. I'll be like, no, really, like
you've come this far.
And I'm over. This is what I'm over. I'm over feeling like I have to like whatever is like the thing, right? Does that make sense? I know most people will not even understand this right now, but like, This Is Us right now, I know it's super popular and super great. And most of the time when I watch the episodes, I'm really liking it, but I have like 4 backed up. And I think too, sometimes we go in moods. And I just lately have been like, you know what? I don't want to cry.
Yeah.
So I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm used to, isn't that crazy? I would think, no, like, you should watch this. Like, you know,
yeah,
people really like this. Like, you're going to miss out. I think that was what it was feeling like maybe I'm missing out on something. And it's like, no, I'm gonna watch, read, this is what I'm over. I'm over the shoulds of my life.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So, yeah.
I don't watch The Bachelor. No desire. And I know
it's fine. We told you should watch it, but you don't.
Throw me into the group text, whatever. Not even a little bit.
No.
I get annoyed when I'm scrolling through Facebook or something and there's like People magazine stories about, I'm like, who cares about these people? I know you and Kelly.
I do care about them a little bit, but you don't have to.
I don't, exactly. And I feel free from that, and I feel released.
Yes. Awesome. Very good.
The bad because I'm not doing it.
No.
So yeah, that's good. Yeah. Just let all that go.
I'm over it.
Nicholas Sparks. Peace. We're done.
I'm glad to know that actually. I was looking at watching The Choice. I saw it on Amazon Prime last night. And I knew I would cry, and I'm not in the mood to cry right now, so I just passed on by. So now I'm not even going to give it a chance.
I was just annoyed. And it was like the fake Southern accents.
Oh. Yeah.
Cheesy, like his whole thing, he kept telling her, "You bother me. Come bother me." I'm like, oh, enough. Just a cheat. It was like, this is too forced.
Right.
Too forced, Nick. Too forced. Don't tell me to come bother you. That's so weird.
It is weird.
It does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Anymore. The Notebook, I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, sure, of course.
Classic.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's done.
All right.
No,
it's okay.
Over it. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, it was your birthday.
Yes.
Are you enjoying being 38?
Sure.
Different? Same? Whatever?
It feels about the same.
Okay. So I love that we wrote out 38 things here that we wanted to accomplish. So I thought it would be good if we kind of check in.
Okay.
Like what are some things maybe you are doing good at on your list?
Yes.
Maybe some things not so much. So I will start. I'm having a lot of success. One of the things on my list was to keep the plants alive.
Good.
I'm having success.
Awesome.
Now, I will tell you this. I came home from about a 2-week trip. I was out of town, and no one had thought to water my plants while I was gone, even though I'd asked them to about 14 times. They wrote it on a note. But anyway, they were looking sad. So, but I think I've revived them.
Okay, good.
So that was one of my things. So what are one of the things that you are having success with?
Okay. Well, I put on there that I want to go to a concert this year. I haven't been yet, but we bought tickets to go see Garth Brooks. So I know that's going to happen now.
Yes.
So that's good.
You're not a big concert goer, right?
I'm not.
That is like one of our favorite things.
But when I have gone, I've always enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I think I just don't have like a super huge musical.
Yeah.
I want to go to a concert where I'm going to know the music, if that makes sense.
Right.
So sometimes when concerts come in town, I think, yeah. So, but we grew up on Garth Brooks. Our dad loves him. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
So it hasn't happened, but now I know we're going to get that marked off.
Yeah.
And I have this big goal to read 50 books in 2017. And I just went and looked. So I've read 7 so far. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish 2 more today.
Wow.
So we are well on our way.
You're on track for that. Yeah.
You know what? And I've started listening to audiobooks while I work out. So that's helping.
Oh, good. Yeah. I love an audiobook. I like it when I travel. So yeah.
So my other thing that I haven't gotten much process on, but I think it's actually the season is right now, is I really do want to plant a small garden. And one friend that I follow on Instagram, she was talking today about she was buying things because she needs to plant them now. So I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know this whole gardening rhythm. So I maybe I need to look into that sooner than later. Otherwise I may miss the window.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So I have been successful at a few things. The thing has been going good. One of my things was to eat more vegetables.
Mine was too.
And I've really been doing better. So my husband's on this crazy diet thing. And so if you have to cook for one person, it's just easier to cook for everybody that way, even though my kids don't eat it half the time. So I'm making 2 meals anyway. But anyway, we love roasting vegetables. And that's so I'll just get a big sheet pan and do Brussels sprouts or broccoli or something. And it's just so good. So it makes me excited. I found a way that I don't like just raw. I mean, give me a tub of ranch and I can eat carrots. That's kind of defeating the purpose.
Right.
And if I just eat salads all the time, I just kind of feel like a rabbit. And anyway, I like the roasting right now. So that sauteing veggies. I like cooked veggies, I guess is what I'm good at. But so I'm doing better with that, eating more veggies.
Good.
And then one of the things on my list, I'm really excited about this. I don't know why I've been like kind of hesitant to do it, but I have wanted to like sign up to serve somewhere at our church and just get involved. And again, I was like trying to make it about me, like, I don't know, it would be weird. And I was like, they're asking for help, so just sign up to help. So anyway, I did it. It's like an online form. And the girl called me right back like that same day. This all happened yesterday. And so I'm super excited. I'm on the setup and hospitality team. So I go this Sunday and I get to help set up the chairs. So I'm like super pumped about it.
Good.
So it's just funny because I'm like, I've been in church ministry a lot of years and I've done a lot of different things, but honestly can't say that I've ever been real involved in just setting up the chairs, and I'm excited to just serve where I'm needed. And so it's going to be good. My husband signed up. I'm excited for him. He's going to help with audio and production stuff because that's like his thing. And so I think it'll be a great way to meet more people and just another way to get involved and just kind of serve the house that we're in. I think that's important.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Chair setup, girl. Hey.
Yes.
I'm excited. So things I'm not doing so well at.
Yeah.
I was going to try to make my bed every day. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Maybe it just makes me feel like things are together, but especially if my husband's out of town, I'm like, who cares? Nobody, I don't care.
Right.
So that's falling off. And then working out, not so much like I need to be. But there's things to work on. There's still a lot of time in the year.
That's right.
So
The year is young, for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm so glad. I have on there that I want to do a family photo book, and I started it, just basically uploading pictures. So I found that for Shutterfly, they have an app, because in the past I thought I had to move pictures from my phone to my computer and then upload them, but you can upload directly from your phone. And so that's saving a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's being great. So
good.
Yeah, I know. So, well, good. Well, so let's just talk a little bit. We took a couple weeks off, and, I think it's so interesting. We kind of named this whole podcast The In-Between because our heart is to talk about the fact that everybody is usually in an in-between stage, and if we're not honest, or if we are honest, we're always looking for like, I'll be happy or things will start working better when I'm on the other side, And so we've talked a lot about just really embracing where you are in the in-between moments. And so I know you and we've been talking a little bit about even just in the last 4 months since we started this podcast, just how things have evolved and even changed in our own life. And so I just want to talk to you about that. Like, where are you at right now in your season of life? What is the in-between for you?
I'm definitely in an in-between season. And even, I feel like I've been in one for a long time, but even within the season, it's it's changing. Does that make sense? There's definitely been a progression. And it makes me wonder, like, I don't know if you ever fully get out of, even if you arrive at whatever it is you wanted to arrive at, there's all of a sudden you realize there's something else on the horizon, and there's always like another thing, a next thing.
Right.
So I've just really been in a season of, I think, desiring more of the Lord and desiring to hear his voice more clearly. I always know I've been able to hear his voice, but just beyond just the big things, but in like the everyday.
Yeah.
Just really, like just a dependency on the Holy Spirit every single day to know, like, what am I supposed to do this day? Yeah. Because as you know, I'm a planner. I like to have it all mapped out, and I live by my calendar. I mean, I would be lost without it. But I feel like the Lord has just kind of prompted me a little bit to slow down sometimes and be like, yes, all that stuff needs to happen. It will happen. It will take care of itself. But sometimes you just need to like slow down and see what I have for you that day, because it may be something outside of the box or outside of that block of time that you've set aside. I feel like God's given me a really clear, I keep using the word blueprint. I feel like that's kind of what, since we moved here, kind of the thing we've been praying for, and it's kind of been spoken at our church a lot, is like, God's going to give you a blueprint. I'm like, what does that look like, God? Because I think the blueprint is the foundation of what, it's the plan, it's the master layout kind of a thing. And we're in a huge transition. We moved our family all this way, and we knew we came here, we wanted to do music. And so I'm just at the place where I know that has got to be next to seeking the Lord, with all my heart. It's got to be pouring into music, because I know that's what he's called me to do. And until he calls me to do something else, I don't need to worry about anything else, kind of a thing. We've also been going through a season up. So our church went through like a 21-day fast at the beginning of the year, which I know a lot of churches do. And it's kind of funny because I kind of chose not to participate. Not that I was trying to be rebellious. I kind of missed the first of it. I missed the big service when they talked about the fast. And then I had a big trip that I went on with my dad. And it just was, most people are like fasting certain foods or social media and things like that. And it was like, well, I want to document this trip on social media. So and I want to enjoy eating in Prague because they have really good food. Like, not that I was trying to be I just didn't feel a real like urgency, like, you need to fast. This is a thing. I didn't feel like I was missing out. Does that make sense? Like, everybody was real into it and doing it. And I was excited about that. And I was like, that's awesome. And it's so funny because like, as soon as the fast for everyone else was over, I started feeling this thing in me, like, oh, what's going on? And it's funny. I listened to a podcast with Havilah Cunnington. And she was interviewing Lisa Bevere. And the topic was supposed to be on something like, how do you feed your soul or something? And Lisa starts talking about when she first got saved and really had a hunger for the Lord. And she said a couple of things. I want to read them because I'll probably say it wrong if I don't. But she said, God's not responsible for me to be hungry for him. If I'm not hungry for God, it's because I've already filled myself with other things. And you have to fast. And a fast isn't a time of denying ourselves food. It's a time of finding out that God is enough. And so I felt like all of a sudden God was bringing this theme into my life of fast. I was like, but everybody just did fast. Like,
yeah.
That ship has sailed, sort of a thing. But I think God was just saying, like, that for you right now, it's time to go deeper. It's time to develop more of a hunger. And I realized, like, I don't have a lot of hunger. I do want more of the Lord, but there's not like this thing like, I have to have it. Does that make sense? Like a real craving for it. And I want that. I want that to be there. And I realize it's because I don't deny myself anything. I just don't. If I want to eat something, I eat it. If I want to watch something, I watch it. If I don't want to work out, I don't work out. Like, and again, my word for the year has been discipline. And God's like, this is something I want to do in your life because I love you, because I care enough about you and where I've called you to be, and I want to help you get there. Right. But you have to have the hunger. You have to have the desire. So anyway, I feel like I'm going through this fasting season and this pruning of God. What have I filled myself with to the point that you're not enough? Like, you're just kind of an extra side thing. Like, I need to get to the point where if I took all these things away, you would be enough and you would completely satisfy me. So all that to say, I feel like it's a pruning season. It's a refining, focusing, like get on mission kind of a time for me. Even though I don't fully know what the mission and what the big picture and what the end result looks like, I just know I'm chasing after it because that's what God's called me to do.
Yeah.
And the things that I do know are songwriting and just going after him. And I think everything else will kind of take care of itself.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I'm in this season of focus on those things.
Yeah. Well, that's so good. I think that's how God works a lot of times, I feel like you were in a season of transition and positioning, and now that you're kind of positioned and stable, and now you can focus, kind of a thing.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I also am kind of in a weird, but good season of maybe focusing a little bit more as well. I was sharing with some people recently, even when we started this podcast back in October, the original reason to kind of get me to do this, I think I said it on the first one, was after going to a conference, someone encouraged me to start a podcast, just to encourage those that would watch or listen, and even just to learn to use my voice and as a tool to get thoughts and concepts and messages in my heart out in there. And so I feel like we've kind of done that a little bit with this podcast, but I feel like too, there have been times when we're just like, let's just shoot the breeze. And it's been so much fun. I've been in the process of writing a book. I wrote a Bible study and self-published it, but then I'm working on a new project, and kind of went through a really interesting process where there was a lot of interest from a publishing house, and they kept asking me for more information. And if I'm honest, I think I kind of got my hopes up a little bit in that okay, like this is going to be the avenue in which I fully get these things out. And just probably a month ago, finally heard back from them saying, you know what, like, it's just not the right timing for us. So we're going to pass. We still think you're great, and this book idea is great, and keep doing your stuff. And I have to be honest, it kind of sent me for a loop a little bit, just making me reevaluate. Okay, Lord, like, I thought this is where I was headed. And so I know with me even, and even with this podcast and work I want to do outside of my vocational job at the church, what I realized is all the ideas I have for the book, they really are from God. And it doesn't matter if a big publisher publishes it, or if I get it out in like small segments and other ways. I have to be, my word was follow through. I have to follow through and just obey and keep. Why does God do that? He gives us these words, and then they just keep coming back, don't they?
Do it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And so I know in my own life, I feel more passionate than ever about, and really the whole concept of the messages in my heart are that God really does see us and hear us and know us in spite of what life looks like right now. And so as you really focus on music and songwriting, I feel like I kind of have a new charge from the Lord to not set that down because it's not coming to pass in the way I want it to, but to continue to follow through. And, you know, the last 2 weeks have been really interesting just because I've walked out even this journey with my friend passing away. And in the last couple months of her life, when we were really talking a lot, realizing that these were the questions that she was asking. Does anyone actually know me? Does anyone actually hear me? Does anyone actually see me? So I feel like I've kind of even seen that up close, that I think that will always be the cry of people's hearts is does anyone? And the answer is God does, like, absolutely. So, all that to say, I'm excited to see how the Lord lets me continue just to share all of that's in my heart. So,
yeah.
So with that being said, I think that we've kind of decided we're going to kind of take the in-between in a new route, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, Leslie, I think you're going to kind of step back for a little bit to focus on music. Is that right?
Yeah, I feel like it's time to just kind of step away from this. Number one, you know, to focus on the things that God's called me to focus on. And also just because I think doing something like this deserves a certain level of commitment and time and things to make it great. And it's just not something that I have to give right now, because of what I feel like God is calling me to do. So, yes, I will be stepping back, not leaving for good. I think you're going to have me back every now and then.
Yes. You're going to come back at least every quarter.
Yeah. So yeah, several times a year, a couple times a year, I'll pop in and tell you what Nicholas Sparks movie to steer because that is important stuff.
Yeah, it is important.
Yeah.
And you know, my heart is for this to still be a fun place. I think I got real serious there, and it's like, oh well, like my heart is still for this to be. In fact, I wrote out all these things that I envision for this podcast, and it's basically what I was talking about with encouraging people that they're known. But I also want this to be a place where there's laughter and joy. I still want it to be a place of honesty and vulnerability. Like, what are the real issues that people are facing and that they're questioning when they're in these in-between moments? And we will still, my thought is that I'm going to just continue to do this weekly and interview some amazing people that maybe aren't known to the general public, but that are living life on mission and doing really great stuff. And I'm gonna hang on to our Into It and Over It because, I mean, that's just fun. And people, they want tips, right?
Yeah, that's important for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, I just want to say to you, Leslie, I just want to say thank you for doing this with me. What I realized as I've been thinking about this is I don't think I could have started this on my own. Like I didn't know what it was supposed to look like, and I didn't have the technical expertise that you've had, and I think I needed to start it off in a place of just real joy and of purpose, and that you've brought so much of that. So I just want to say thank you for that so much.
Well, I want to say thank you for asking me, first of all, to be a part of it. This came at a time when I needed something to push me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I'd gone through about 18 months of not really a creative outlet.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew there were things inside of me to give and to say and to share, and whether it's like an idea about whatever, you know, just the creative side of it, to just having something to work on and work towards. And I so needed that in my life. I had no idea how badly I needed it. But I think because I said yes to this, it's really stirred other things in my heart. And now I'm not as hesitant or afraid to step out and do the things that God has really called me to do, because it's like, you know, we started a podcast 6 months ago. We had no idea what we were doing, you know, but it was like, it just kind of showed me and reminded me, like, you can figure things out. You can make things happen. You can, you know, and that's just, those are things that I need now, and I need to be reminded of. And so having walked through it kind of helped me realize, like, you know, you're not in a black hole. You can come out and be creative. You can, you know, use those things again. And so this has been a huge blessing to me in that way, and just being able to kind of get that stirred up again.
Good. Well, I am so excited to see what's on the horizon for you. I know that God has given you songs, and they're gonna just flow as you are disciplined and you focus more on that. So I just want to encourage everybody, as you watch this, just give Leslie lots of love and encouragement as she goes out and really focuses in this new season on what God's calling her to do in time with Him and in music writing. And then I want to ask you to keep watching and to keep listening. And I think we're going to figure this out, what it's supposed to look like. But I will tell you, like, as I've prayed and thought about it, I just know so clearly the Lord said, don't lay it down. There is purpose for this thing. Right. And so I'm personally just really excited to watch that unfold and see how the Lord's going to use it in my life, but more importantly, in the lives of those who are watching and listening. So, so Leslie, thank you. And you will see her again. Like, I promise, like I am dragging her back, like at least. So
I will do it.
That's good. So, all right. So with that, then we will I will see you next week. In the comments and stuff, give Leslie lots of love. And just wherever you are in your own in-between moment, I just want to encourage you. I think what we're both learning is pressing into the Lord and hearing His voice for what your season's supposed to look like. And that is the best place to be. So, all right. You want to say any final words, Les?
No, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to keep up with the in-between, because I know Paige has so much gold, so much wisdom to share. So it's going to be good.
Thanks for joining us this week. We really do feel honored that you choose to listen in on our conversations each and every week. Don't forget to give Leslie lots of love as she moves on to focusing on music in this next season of life. And as I, Paige, begin to podcast on my own, I'd really love to hear from you. I want to know who you want me to interview or topics you want discussed. Also, be sure and help us out by liking our Facebook page and consider subscribing to our YouTube or iTunes stations. Thanks so much, and I really do hope that this week you find amazing moments in every moment that's in between.